Welcome to my very first 24-hour readathon, where I will be reading for 24 hours straight. Since it is 5 a.m., I gotta keep it down a little bit, but the first book I will be reading is the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. Let's go! I'm nearing the 2-hour mark and I just made it to page 100. The sun is not even up. I'm not super tired, but I feel like I look pretty tired and it's like really hot in my room. But I'm really enjoying this. I already watched the movie and I loved it. And I'm just like replaying the movie in my head while reading this. And of course I've been listening to the soundtrack, so then like reading the lyrics, I'm just like, oh, I love this song. And I'm having so much fun. But in the grand scheme of things, not much has happened yet, so I'm gonna continue to read, and I'll be sure to tell you about my experience reading for such a long period of time and how much I am enjoying this book. I've made it to the halfway point in the first book. And after reading for a good amount of time, I realized I was reading so slow this morning. I think I only read like 40 pages in the first hour, but obviously caught up and read 100 by the end of 2 hours. So I've definitely started to speed things up and I am loving this. Since I've already seen the movie and I know what's gonna happen, I love all of the foreshadowing, and I'm just like underlining everything with my feather pen that I got in a Taylor Swift advent calendar. I'm so sorry you had to miss out on my singing earlier because I sounded exactly like Rachel Zegler, but of course, you know, copyright. Anyway, I'm going to try to finish this in the next couple of hours, obvi. I'm going to be reading in the next couple of hours. I'm actually kind of shocked they didn't really change any of the lyrics because I think about Daisy Jones and the Six. Sorry, my voice went out because, you know, I just gave this groundbreaking performance and my voice can only take so much. But I think about Daisy Jones and the Six and how they changed all of the lyrics and the majority of the song titles, but this is like, this is the same, and I love it. I do. But for realsies, I be listening to the old There Before all the time. I finished. So it took me 8 hours and 45 minutes to read 518 pages, which is pretty good because I suspected it would take me longer. I really enjoyed this. I think I'm gonna give it a 4 stars. I really enjoyed reading about Snow's thoughts about Lucy Gray's lyrics. There's a lot of deeper meaning in these lyrics that I didn't really catch on to until I had to like read about it. All this being said, I don't think it's a 5-star because I knew what was gonna happen. So like none of it was gonna shock me because I already watched it in movie form. And I'm also going to the movies in 2 days to watch it again. Overall, I just really enjoyed this and I love a good villain origin story. I should probably mention what this book is about. It is a Hunger Games prequel. This is about the 10th annual Hunger Games where President Snow is actually only 18 and it's before he's all evil and it's like his origin story, basically. Anyway, the 10th annual Hunger Games is the very first Hunger Games that has mentors, and he is a mentor for District 12's Lucy Greybeard. And I think you should totally read to see what happens between Coriolanus Snow and Lucy Greybeard, and how Snow becomes the way he is. Alright, next book I'm reading is Happy Place by Emily Henry. I don't know much about this book, I just know people describe it as a literary fiction with a romance subplot, and I know people just absolutely adore the characters. I lied when I said I don't know much about this book. People have also compared it to lyrics from The Exit by Conan Gray, and I love that song, so now is the time to read this. This book is shorter than The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, so hopefully I will get through it quicker. Gonna go get started now. Pages into Happy Place. I have to say I'm enjoying this book a little more than I thought I would, just because I've read Beach Read and People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry, and I didn't love them as much as everyone else did, and so I assumed I wouldn't love this all that much, but I am. Anyway, I'll give you a little synopsis on what's going on. There's a group of 6 friends that go to Maine every year, and that is their happy place. 2 of the friends, Harriet and Wynne, were together for 8 years and even engaged, but in the past year they broke up, but they didn't tell anyone that they broke up, and now the group of friends are doing their get-together for the very last time because the cottage they stay at is being sold. Now Harriet and Wynne are like, oh my gosh, we need to tell everybody, but then 2 other friends are getting married at the end of the week and they don't want to bring the vibes down, so now they're going to fake date for the week. I really like all of the characters. There's not one to complain about, which is amazing because I feel like I can always find a character that I don't like, but not in this. Also, I feel like I've just been like vibing through the first 11 hours. There was one point where I was like, oh, I'm getting a little bit sleepy, but that's just because I woke up at 4:30 this morning. But now I am feeling energized and I'm ready to read for another 13 plus hours. I mean, now we're nearing 4 p.m. and I'm usually up at this time anyway, but I feel like once it gets dark out, it's gonna start to get a little rough. But I have the perfect plan to get through this readathon, and I will be making it till 5 a.m. Anyway, I don't want to waste any more time, so I'm going to return to their happy place. If you haven't seen my ceiling before, it makes me happy, okay? I just made it past the halfway point and I am loving this, but I do have to say, everyone that says Emily Henry writes literary books with romance subplots, you're wrong. Romance book through and through. Like, how can you look at this and be like, No, I think it's more literary fiction. I think the romance is the main appeal. Yeah, there's like deeper stuff in here, but at the end of the day, the driving force is romance and it is marketed correctly. Anyway, since it is after 6 p.m., it is dark outside. So the night is just gonna go downhill from here. Can't wait. I don't have too many more thoughts on the book at the moment. Yeah, I don't know. I'll keep you updated. Going 13 hours strong and having a blast. Finished! I'm going to give Happy Place by Emily Henry 4 stars. After reading the second half of the book, I kind of understand why some people would call it a literary fiction, but I still think it is a romance book with a subplot of other non-romance stuff. Also, there was one thing bothering me throughout this book, and I'm going to state it now. It is the fact that there's a character named Cleo in here, and they gave her the nickname Clee. Her name's already short. Why are you calling her Clee? Clee? I feel like authors and like writers for TV shows just overdo it with nicknames sometimes. Like, it's not always necessary. Like, I feel like if there was like a character with my name, like Aaron, they would be Air. It's just not necessary. Hey, you want to go to Clee Club? That's what it reminds me of. Dooba 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 dooba. Okay. Anyway, this book was a very strong contender for a 5-star read. But then the last 100 pages, I was just like, come on. Get it over with. Been there, done that. Not really. Haven't really been there or done that, but I was bored. But overall, this book is really good, and I totally recommend. It's very emotional, and I liked that the people felt real. This wasn't some rom-com where the author just mentions over and over again how she's so little and he's so big. I hate it when books do that. It is not necessary for you to repeat that over and over and over again. Hating game. Now let's move on. I thought it would be around midnight by the time I got to this, but it's 9 o'clock. And I'm already a decent chunk into this book. I've already read 154 pages. So I only have 300 left, and that is not going to take me 8 hours. I was first sure thinking, oh, I'm going to be so tired, and this is going to be the only book that can keep me up. Yeah, what happens when I finish this and then I have to start a new book at 3 in the morning? I feel like the only other option would be a short book that's not going to hurt my brain, so it needs to be an author I'm very familiar with, so it needs to be Taylor Jenkins Reid. I think I'm going to read this first because I'm more in the mood to read this, and then I'm going to start this because I feel like it doesn't take that much brain power to read her romance books. Anyway, I don't want to waste any more time at this current moment, so I'm going to read Thrive. This is a part of the Addicted series, and I'll get into that later, maybe. I don't know. I feel like I talk about the Addicted series all the time. Billionaires that are couples and found family with addictions. That's my synopsis for now. So only about an hour has passed since I last talked to you, but I feel like it's necessary to tell you, for the first time in this challenge, I just feel the need to pick up my phone and scroll through social media. I'm very proud of myself that, the first urge to get on my phone didn't happen until 10 p.m. And it's more so, I just want to scroll through Goodreads. I think I have the urge to get on my phone because Thrive is happening at the same time as Kiss the Sky, so I've already read a lot of what's going on. While I'm really enjoying the story, since I feel like I've already read it, I'm just kind of like, okay, I want to know something new. And it's from a different couple's perspective, and they have other things going on, but still a lot of it is things that I already know happened. I've already read through this. There's scenes that it doesn't really make a difference if I'm reading it from someone else's perspective. So in that manner, it's a little bit boring, but I'm obviously going to continue to read, and I'm going to power through and not get on this. Okay, so it's midnight, and I'm starting to get tired, and we have 5 hours left, so I'm gonna pop open an energy drink. I will not be a little wimp and fall asleep before 5 a.m. I just finished Thrive, and I'm not thriving. I can't decide if I'm tired or if my heart is beating too fast and I need to stop drinking Celsius. Anyway, book number 3 done. So this is the shortest book I own that I haven't read. So I want to get started on it. I'm not going to finish it. There's no way. How many hours do I have left? It's not going to happen. I'm not going to finish it. Oh, I didn't even talk about Thrive. Okay, I'm going to give Thrive 4 stars because a lot of it was just repeating stuff that happened in Kiss the Sky and Hot House Flower. I'm at the point where I can't even remember titles. Oh my gosh. But a lot of it were just scenes that we already saw through other characters' perspectives, and it doesn't really change all that much when reading it from a different point of view. But there were still some scenes where I was like, oh, it's nice seeing what really happened here and what's going on here, because maybe other characters weren't there, or you just want to know what was going through a certain character's mind. I don't know. I really liked it. 4 stars. which I almost feel bad for rating it 4 stars because I've rated like every other book in the series 5 except for Ricochet. Anyway. I have just over 2 hours left and the main characters are sleeping. I should be sleeping. No, but for real, my eyes are having a hard time keeping up. It is 5 a.m. and I just finished my very first 24-hour readathon. Now that I'm not reading and I'm like sitting up and talking, I feel like I have a little bit of a burst of energy. I'm just like so happy I just finished that. My very first 24-hour readathon, I did it and I'm still awake. A little something about me is that I am not pleasant to be around if I didn't get my 8 hours of sleep. Even on school nights, I will do the math of what time I need to wake up and make sure I'm going to bed with at least 8 hours. I prefer to get 9 hours of sleep each night. I read fantastic books in this video, and I think this was a good book for my last choice because I feel like I didn't really have to think very hard while reading it, but this book is so sad. I'm 200 pages into the 300-page book, so I made a pretty good dent in it. Anyway, this book is about Elsie and, what's his name? You'd think I'd know, Ben. This tells the story of how they met and fell in love. This book also has a dual timeline of Ben dying right after they got married. So this book tells the story of them falling in love and then Elsie's grief and I guess how she's trying to move on. One thing about Taylor Jenkins Reid is that she is always amazing at writing grief. I don't know if this woman has just experienced a lot of loss, but I feel like she's written a lot about loss, and every single time I'm just like, that is so true, bestie. She's not my bestie, but I wish she was. Anyway, I hope you like this video because I've been up for over 24 hours and that just doesn't happen, and I also feel like most people are not successful with their first readathon. Also, if you're gonna be one of those people that comment and you're like, you took breaks to talk to the camera, please don't. Please just don't. Yeah, I didn't read for 24 hours straight because I was talking to the camera. I still stayed up for 24 hours straight, and that is not natural. Anyway, if you would like, comment, and subscribe, I would very much appreciate it. And I will see you sometime in the future, hopefully. Bye-bye.